Maria Callas was more than just a name in the world of opera. She was an enigma, a legend whose voice could soar to celestial heights and plunge into heartbreaking depths. Dubbed La Divina, she captivated audiences not only with her remarkable talent, but with a life story that unfolded like one of the tragic operas she so vividly brought to life. Yet behind the luminous spotlight and thunderous applause lay a woman haunted by insecurities, a relentless pursuit of perfection, and an aching longing for love and acceptance. This is the story of Maria Callas, a woman who gave everything to her art, sacrificing her soul on the altar of fame. It is a tale of ambition and heartbreak, of the brilliant rise and haunting decline of a diva who lived for her voice and died for the silence it left behind. Through the stages of her life, from her difficult childhood and meteoric rise to the tempestuous relationships and the ultimate solitude of her later years, this narrative seeks to peel back the layers of myth and reveal the woman behind the legend. Maria Callas was not just a voice. She was a human being, fragile and flawed, yet luminous in her passion and artistry. This is her aria. Paris, 1977. The curtains of Maria Callas's life are drawn, revealing a quiet stage. In the dim light of her apartment, she sits by a flickering candle, a stack of unsent letters resting on her lap. The haunting strains of her casta diva fill the room, her voice resonating with the brilliance and vulnerability that made her unforgettable. The audience, however, is absent. Maria is alone, her only company the weight of her memories. With trembling hands, she reads a letter she never sent. To the stage, the world, and the people I loved, I gave all of me. Yet I am left with an emptiness that even my music cannot fill. Born Anna Maria Sofia Cecilia Kalogeropoulos in New York in 1923, Maria was thrust into the role of savior for her immigrant family. Her mother, Evangelia, envisioned her daughter's voice as their escape from poverty. Long hours at the piano, relentless vocal exercises, and public performances dominated Maria's childhood. Her talent was undeniable, but her childhood was anything but her own. In a letter to her estranged father, she confided, "Papa, I wish I could sing only for myself, but Mama says it is my duty to bring us fame and fortune. Sometimes I wonder if she loves me or just my voice." When the family returned to Greece during Maria's teenage years, the demands only grew. Under the tutelage of Elvira de Hidalgo at the Athens Conservatoire, Maria flourished as a singer. Her mentors recognized her as a rare gem, both in power and versatility, but the rigors of training isolated her further. Diary entry, 1942. My voice carries me to new heights, yet I feel chained to the expectations of others. The applause is deafening, but my heart is silent. Her performances in Athens began to draw attention, and by the end of World War II, she was performing in opera houses across Europe. Maria Callas was on the cusp of global fame, but with fame came a new set of challenges. Maria's rise to stardom was meteoric, but the cost was steep. Her perfectionism, her greatest strength on stage, alienated her peers. Rivalries, particularly with Renata Tebaldi, were fueled by the media, painting Maria as a cold, calculating diva. Unpublished letter to Renata Tebaldi. Renata, they call this a rivalry, but we are merely two women chasing perfection. If I seem harsh, it is only because they demand so much from me. I wish we could stand together instead of apart. Her performances at La Scala and the Metropolitan Opera were transformative. Critics hailed her as a genius, her mastery of bel canto breathing new life into forgotten operas. Yet her quest for artistic excellence often left her feeling isolated. During rehearsals for Norma, Maria clashed with a conductor who dismissed her demands for precision. That night she wrote, "Music is sacred. If I fight, it is not for me, but for Bellini, for Verdi, for their voices to shine through mine. Still, I wonder if this fight is worth losing so much." In 1957, Maria met Aristotle Onassis, the Greek shipping magnate who would become her greatest love and her deepest sorrow. Their romance was passionate, tempestuous, and ultimately heartbreaking. Onassis adored her brilliance, but struggled with her fame overshadowing his own. Unsent letter to Onassis, 1963. Ari, I gave up the stage for you, believing love would be enough. But you ask for more than I can give. You ask me to silence my soul, the one thing that has always been mine. You say you love me, yet you leave me with nothing but emptiness. Their relationship unraveled when Onassis married Jacqueline Kennedy in 1968. Maria, humiliated and heartbroken, retreated further into herself. The press painted her as a tragic figure, a diva abandoned for a younger, more glamorous rival. During a performance of Tosca, Maria poured her grief into the aria Vici d'arte. The audience wept, but backstage Maria collapsed, whispering, "I live for art, I live for love, yet neither was ever truly mine." In the 1970s, Maria's voice began to falter. The once dazzling clarity was now fragile, trembling under the weight of years of strain and heartbreak. Critics speculated endlessly. Was it illness, emotional exhaustion, or both? Recording confession, 1975. They say I lost my voice because I pushed too hard, but I think it was my heart that gave out first. A voice cannot soar if the soul is too heavy to lift it. Amid her decline, letters she wrote but never sent reveal a woman burdened by the duality of her existence. To the world, she was a goddess. To herself, she was a prisoner of her own legend. Letter to Elvira de Hidalgo. You taught me to sing, but no one taught me how to live. Every note I sang carried the weight of longing, for freedom, for love, for a self I barely knew. Maria withdrew from public life, teaching young singers in Paris and revisiting the music she had once lived for. But the stage still called to her, even as her voice faltered. Maria Callas passed away on September 16, 1977, alone in her Paris apartment. In the years following her death, her letters and recordings began to surface, offering a glimpse into the woman behind the myth. A letter discovered among her belongings read, "To those who will listen, remember me not as a perfect voice, but as a woman who gave her life to music. My voice is gone, but perhaps my soul lingers in the notes I left behind." Her recordings continue to inspire generations of opera lovers, her voice immortalized as the essence of passion and artistry. Young singers study her work, marveling at her ability to convey the deepest human emotions. Through her unsent letters and diary entries, Maria Callas's story emerges as one of both triumph and tragedy. Her life was a constant battle between her humanity and the myth the world demanded she become. Yet even in her solitude, she left a legacy that resonates beyond her time, a voice not only heard but deeply felt. Maria Callas remains forever La Divina. Thank you for joining us on the tragedy of Maria Callas through her unsent letters and diaries. If you enjoyed learning about her incredible story, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you have a favorite Maria Callas performance, aria, or memory? Share it with us. We'd love to hear your perspective. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our insights into the lives of legendary artists, musicians, and performers. Stay inspired, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.